Hello everyone, welcome back to Believer Science Academy Bengaluru. This is Daily Current Affairs Compendium, Prelims 2026 edition and the current affairs for 15th November 2025. So the first current affairs and the first article for the day is about DPDP rules 2025. What is DPDP? Digital Personal Data Protection Rules. Digital Personal Data Protection Rules. Why it is in use? Because government notified DPDP rules 2025, fully operationalizing DPDP Act 2023, follows Puttaswamy 2017, which recognized privacy as a fundamental right. Okay, so what happened in Puttaswamy case? In Puttaswamy case, they held that right to privacy is a fundamental right and it is part of Article 21. What is Article 21? Article 21 is nothing but right to life and personal liberty. Life and personal liberty. So this right to privacy was made as a fundamental right under Article 21. Now, what is this DPDP important features? It is citizen centric. It has Saral design. There is full form of Saral design, not necessary to remember for you all. And the rights are consent, the right to consent, correction, erasure, grievance redressal, and nomination. So, in the sense, you need to take consent for using a personal data. And correction, you have the right to correct your personal data. Erasure, you also have the right to erase your personal data from the internet. And also grievance redressal, you also have the right to grievance redressal if there is any case or any issue with respect to your personal data. And then finally nomination. Okay, so the duties are, it provides accurate data and no false complaints. Okay, next, data fiduciary applications, that is, they have to be lawful plus purpose limited processing. And security safeguards are also provided. Breach reporting, whenever there is a data privacy breach happens, it has to be reported. And the implementation timeline, immediately some provisions of the DPDP are accepted or implemented, such as DPBI, Data Protection Board of India, which includes 4 members, is made functional immediately, and RTA personal info disclosure is restricted. Okay, next, in 12 to 18 months, full consent rules, purpose limitation, breach notification, DPO, consent management framework, all these etc. will be brought into fruition. Next, large tech firms complain by May 2027. So they can complain by May 2027, and based on their complaint and based on further deliberation, we will be making changes to these DPDP rules. Next, data fiduciaries versus SFDs. SDFs are based on volumes, sensitivity, and impact on the sovereignty or security. Next, big tech likely SDF. Okay, and then extra duties is DPIA audits, parental consent verification, etc. And also there is a provision about data localization, that is conditional localization, that is government to specify data categories barred from leaving India. Next, industry prefers interoperable cross-border flow and also global pushback likely. I mean, we have to see after once it is implemented. And the children's data, that is verifiable parental consent is required. Okay, if there is a question about children's data, children do not have the knowledge about what is and how to protect their personal data. So in that case, their right is given to their parents. So behavioral tracking or targeted ads are largely banned except for the safety related processing. And breach reporting and penalties, users must be informed without delay, and penalties up to rupees 250 crore, and DPBI is empowered to investigate and penalize. But the key criticism is RTI with respect to personal data has been restricted, so they say that it is diluted, that is loss of public interest transparency, and wide government exemptions like risk of unchecked surveillance results into this. And DPBI under capacity, that is only 4 members, it is obviously low capacity. And localization burdens the global tech, and compliance heavy for startups. Because if you want to do the data localization, you have to set up your own data centers, and data centers are heavy capital intensive. So it is going to put burden on the global technology companies, and also it becomes very heavy for startups as well. Delay of core protections, that is consent, erasure, breach notice, etc. And the way forward is strengthen DPBI independence and staffing, clear localization norms, revisit RTI changes, standardize consent and breach templates, digital rights awareness, and finally strong baseline security norms, cyber security norms. So these are the way forwards. Again, I'll be bringing a separate video where we'll discuss it from the perspective of mains as well as interview. That we'll discuss completely here. It is just based on the prelims. So all the important aspects which are factual in nature and which can be asked in the prelims, I think I've covered here. Next, second is about INVAR missile, INVAR. What is this INVAR missile? INVAR is a large laser guided anti-tank guided missile, ATGM, that is anti-tank guided missile. This is the INVAR missile and this is the target for INVAR missile. Recent procurement by the MOD worth rupees 2095 crore to boost India's armored capabilities. It has been procured by DOM. It is originally built by Rosoboronexport Export. So it is obviously Russian made and produced under the license in India by Bharat Dynamics Limited. Very important. So it is not indigenous. It is not indigenous. Very important to remember. And the key features are launch platform fired through 125-meter gun barrel of T-90 tanks, integrated with tanks fire control optics, etc. And the range and capabilities, range of up to 5 kilometers, effective against both stationary as well as moving targets. Very important. These kind of statements becomes statements in your prelims itself. So designed to defeat tanks with explosive reactor armors, ERA, and the guidance system, it uses semi-automatic laser beam guidance, raiding guidance, highly resistant to electronic jamming. Very important. And the warhead design is tandem warhead, that is penetrates armors beyond or behind ERA shields. These ERA shields are one of the most heaviest as well as most durable shields. So if you want to break these ERA shields, the missile has to be very technically sound. Next, weight is around 17.2 kgs and length is around 690 millimeters. Throwing device is around 380 millimeters. Why does it matter? Because it enhances lethality and accuracy of T-90 tags in high intensity battlefields. It also strengthens India's anti-armor capability along the sensitive borders. That is why it is very important. Next, Omen drone. Again, with respect to internal security or defense. It is developed jointly by Anduril, USA and EDGE group or Edge group of UAE. So it has nothing to do with India, but there can easily be a question about Omen drone with respect to prelims. Omen drone, and the statement can be it is indigenously built drone by India. Obviously that statement becomes wrong. Type is, this is an image, so it has very futuristic look into it. So type is tail sitting VTOL design drone with a hybrid electronic propulsion. What is the tail sitting? This is the tail and it is able to sit on its tail. Role is modular platform for ISR, maritime surveillance, coastal security and infrastructure protection. And the design is twin rotor, 10 feet tall tail sitter, relaxed rear cylinder wings, no scanned foreplanes, twin boom tail configuration, etc., etc. And the flight modes is vertical takeoff, hover or landing, transition to airplane style forward left flight for longer and faster missions. And advantages is compact, foldable, and deployable by 2% team. So not necessary to have a multiple member team. And the works from rough terrain and no heavy infrastructure. And the payloads are modular open architecture, EOR IR sensors, comms relays and other mission kits, etc., etc. Next is about Indian geography. It talks about Penganga River. So Penganga River is a major tributary or main river of Yavatmal district in Maharashtra, and it is the tributary of Wardha River, which itself is a tributary of river Godavari. So it originates in Ajanta ranges in Aurangabad, flows through Buldhana, Washim, Hongoli, forms boundaries between Yavatmal, Nanded and Maharashtra, Telangana. Yavatmal is Maharashtra, Nanded is Telangana. Nanded famous for banking coachings. Next, confluence chain, Penganga reaches Wardha and then it becomes Vainganga and Pranahita and finally reaches Godavari. Okay, and into the Bay of Bengal. So in this image you can see. Okay, Penganga reaching Wardha and then Vainganga, Indravati and then this one, Godavari. Okay. Next, length is around 670 kilometers, 76 kilometers, deeply entrenched, non-navigable, and the tributaries for itself are Adan, Khas, Aranavati, Kandu, Pus, etc., etc. And seasonal floods are very common, and the dams are Upper Penganga and Lower Penganga, which is also called as Isapur Dam. Okay, it is built in the Isapur village. The recent incident near Saharashtra waterfall shows strong currents and flood risk. Recently, few people lost their lives because of this Saharashtra waterfall, That is why it was in news. Next is Mud Neoma Air Base. What is this? It is Neoma. It is a air base which is present in Southeast Ladakh at 13,700 feet altitude and 23 kilometers from line of actual control with China. So strategically very important. Significance is it is India's highest air base. Very important. Highest air base. Highest in the sense from the altitude to the sea level. Fourth IA for Indian Air Base System or Forum base in Ladakh. Okay, Indian Air Force base in Ladakh, fifth highest in the world. Okay, very important. Highest in India, but not highest in the world. Fifth highest in the world. Upgrade is recently 230 crore rupees was spent here. That is Border Road Organization converted old mud strip of 2.7 kilometer concrete runway into new ATC hangars and cash bay and cure facilities. So it improved or upgraded the particular airstrip or upgraded the particular base. Capabilities are can host C-130J, C-17 Sukhoi MKI helicopters and UAVs. Very important, especially in the strategic terms. And the strategic value is enhances rapid deployment, logistics, and surveillance near Pangongso and LSC. Supports operations in 20 degrees Celsius conditions. Okay, very important. Remember, Mudneoma Air Base is present in Ladakh and it is India's highest air base in the world, in India, and fifth in the world. And it is not the only IAF air base; it is the fourth IAF air base in Ladakh. Next, Escape Aid Mission. Escape Aid Mission. It is Escape Aid is Escape and Plasma Acceleration and Dynamics Explorer Mission. So that is the full form. So not necessarily remember the full form. Just remember this. Escape Aid Mission is NASA's first twin orbiter mission to Mars. Very important. It is not has nothing to do with India. Instead, the mission is completely of NASA. It is launched under the SimpleX low-cost planetary program. It uses two small satellites, Blue and Gold, to study Mars's magnetosphere together. Very important. Launch and strategies. It was recently launched by Blue Origin. Blue Origin is a space tech company by Amazon. Okay, Jeff Bezos. So how SpaceX is the brainchild of Elon Musk and Tesla. This Blue Origin is a brainchild of Jeff Bezos. So this was launched by Blue Origin, which is a private company, but the project or the mission is from NASA. It follows unique launch and loiter approach. Spacecraft travel to Earth, Sun, Lagrange point L2. They will wait or loiter there until it corrects Mars transfer window. Finally, final journey to Mars begins in late 2026. So it has a different processor. Instead of sending it direct to the Mars orbit, it is being sent to different Lagrange points and then finally jump into Mars. That is what India's Mars orbiter mission also employed. Mission objective is to study solar wind interaction, atmospheric loss, that is study how solar wind has been stripping Mars's atmosphere and essential clue to its climate evolution, and also can be used to study Earth's climate and its interaction with this Earth's wind interaction, solar wind interaction. Real-time magnetosphere dynamics, map plasma behavior, magnetic fields, and space weather responses using the simultaneous dual point measurements. Very important again. And then the twin orbiters of Blue and Gold, identical spacecrafts making coordinated observations from different locations around the Mars. It provides spatial data a single orbiter cannot capture. Significance is helps explain how Mars shifted from a warm, water-rich planet to its current thin, cold atmosphere. It supports future human exploration by improving the understanding of radiation and space weather. It demonstrates the capability of small, low-cost aircraft or spacecraft for deep space science. Very important. So these are the articles, or these are the important current affairs for the day. So if you like the video, then please hit the like button, comment on it, and also share with your friends. Always make one-word notes on these kind of important things so that it can be easy for you to answer facts-based questions in the prelims. So with this, I will end the video. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.